Welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I'm Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. We are back to our regular programming here. We'll be live on Thursday nights until the football season, when, of course, we'll have Thursday night football. But it's good to be back in the Thursday night slot. And we've got a hell of a card. UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira. We have a card loaded with great fights. I'm excited about this one, Johnny. I'm sure you are too. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, this is a pretty fun card. Fun card to break down and watch tape on these guys. Really excited for a few of these fights, and yeah, hopefully we can Hopefully we can get an entertaining card, because I'm going to say not only has the last two cards been terrible betting, but I mean, watching these last two cards has just been absolutely dreadful. I mean, these fights have been terrible. I think 20 out of 25 fights went to decision. They're just terrible fights. So, yeah, I'm hoping we get an action-packed International Fight Week card here.
Yeah, I feel like it. I mean, on paper, I feel like that's what we're going to get. It has been tough the last couple of weeks. I mean, I kind of got bailed out by that Curtis Blades decision last week, and I got on Fazeev, so I was able to salvage my night. But when you're not cashing tickets and these cards are the way that those two were, it's not fun. So hopefully we cash some tickets, but I'm pretty sure
this last two event stretch has been probably the two worst events back to back to watch, like, in a long time. I mean, and these events are with crowds, which is pretty crazy. At least we got those dumpster fires in the Apex, and we got a bunch of like mean finishes, which was But these cards are just terrible. But
yeah, usually I don't walk away from a card saying that was boring. But yeah, I mean the last couple, both of them were, they were tough. They were tough. We didn't get a whole lot of action, lot of decisions, and some of the most boring decisions at that. So yeah, hopefully that's not the case this week. I don't think it will be. Let's jump right into it here. Our first fight on the card, we have two debuting fighters. Middleweight division, we got Chris Uert taking on Jackson McVey. Both guys undefeated. Both guys, I looked at their regional record. They're, they haven't fought the stiffest of competition. Obviously, this is in the UFC level here, so it's going to be a good test for where these guys are at, I suppose. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I knew absolutely nothing about these guys until McVey was announced to fight Dumas, who pulled out because he couldn't get his ankle monitor off in time, I guess, was the story. And yeah, so in steps Uert. So yeah, I had to go back and watch these guys fights, and McVey, watching a tape on this guy, there isn't much really to watch. He's slicing through cans. He's just running through these guys. These guys that he's fighting are pretty terrible. And yeah, he's just slicing right through them, subbing them pretty easily. So that seems to be his game, is to kind of get you up in the clinch, get you on the ground. And he's 6'4", so he's a long dude. He likes to use his long limbs and latch up. Likes that Darce choke and that guillotine. So he looks dangerous, but level of competition isn't great. And then Uert, another guy I had to go back and look at, and he looked decent. Kind of a pressure fighter, walks forward, throws decent volume. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of McVey. We haven't really seen him in too much like adversity, so if it becomes like a striking battle, I definitely would lean Uert. But if this gets in like the grappling exchanges, and McVey can make it greasy and grimy, get it to in his world where it's up close in the clinch or up along the fence, I think he can probably like lock something up. I don't know. The submission was interesting to me. That number is, it's plus 325. So that's interesting to me. So I don't know. In this situation, it'd probably have to be a dog or pass, because really a lot of unknown between these guys. But yeah, it'd probably be a McVey submission for me here.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm leaning. I like the dogger pass angle. I like what I've seen from McVey. Obviously, it's tough to really get a gauge because of the guys he's fighting, but the same thing can be said about Uert. Neither guy's really fighting the stiffest of competitions. Uert, I do like that how he comes forward, and he does. He gets hit a lot, which could be a problem in this fight because Jackson is he's a pretty dangerous guy. He looks to be dangerous on the feet. He's got decent power. So, but the one thing about that is he looks like one of those guys that can take a beating and just keep coming forward. So over the course of 3 rounds, maybe he could take over. But yeah, I kind of just like the dogger pass angle myself. We don't really know too much about these guys. Kind of go with the bigger guy here. High upside for submissions. I think there's a high upside for a finish on both sides. If you were can take some damage early and wear him out and put the pressure on, I could see him getting a late finish too. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be the dog here for me. But
a lot of these McVey fights are ending within like 90 seconds or
yeah,
like 2 minutes. So it's like really not much like you can tell like if this is kind of stretched out. I mean, I really don't know how his cardio is. I really don't know how he's going to hold up. But
yeah, the one thing I did like with him is I think he had 9 amateur fights, and a couple of those fights, I can't remember if they were decisions, but he did get into the 3rd round a couple times. So, he's got some experience later in fights, but obviously this is the UFC, bright lights, a lot of adrenaline. These guys could gas out within the 1st round. So, but yeah, I mean, for what I've seen, I'll take the shot here on the dog, and we'll see what we do. I'm not going to heavily invest in the fight, but I think it'll be a good one. I think it'll be fun to watch, and yeah, it'll be competitive. All right, our next fight is in the heavyweight division. Got Jonathan Denise taking on Alvin Hines. Hines is making his debut. He is also undefeated. He likes to wrestle. He's got a decent wrestling game, but there's been a couple fights where I wasn't overly impressed with his takedowns and his control. So this is definitely an interesting one. We know Denise has very good striking, but he can be taken down. So if Hines can get him down, it'll be interesting. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Hines is UFC level. I mean, his level of competition that he's fighting is pretty terrible. I mean, I guess the striking is pretty decent. He's pretty slow. He has some decent power. The wrestling is, I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's there. He kind of tries to use it. I mean, it's decent, but it's against what level of competition, and he's struggling to kind of get these guys down and control them. Yeah. So that's what worries me here. And yeah, it's just bad level of competition. I mean, this Hines guy in his last fight was fighting some guy Valdez. He was about 5'6", 300 pounds. Like, just
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was just. I mean, competition is just not the greatest, and he's already older up there in his age. I think he's barely even started training MMA maybe a few years ago. So, yeah, I don't think this guy is UFC level. And Denise, he elite kickboxer, really good striking, big power in his hands. But his one hole in his game is the takedown defense. We've seen Tybura and a couple of the other guys get him down and kind of ground him. But yeah, on the feet, he definitely is dangerous. Which I mean, I don't see Hines being able to take him down and control him. And if he does, I think it's probably for a round. And after that, I don't know what Hines' cardio is going to be like after that. So he might be just completely cooked. And I think Denise probably gets him out of there in the 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I think Denise probably puts him away. I agree with you. I mean, I don't really think Hines is UFC level. Like you said, he's got the wrestling, but there's been some fights where the wrestling did not look great. He struggled to get takedowns or failed on takedowns, and
Yeah.
kind of made it a close fight with a guy who's, not really, obviously not even close to the UFC level. So, yeah, I like Denise here. I think he finishes, probably puts him out. I mean, I could see him putting him out early, honestly. Couple failed takedowns. I mean, Denise, he's a guy that can be taken down, but he's getting taken down by guys that are, UFC level guys. So it's not. Yeah, I just think this is a local tough guy in Hines, and Denise is just head and shoulders better on the feet, and he probably puts him out within the first couple rounds. All right, moving right along to the biggest favorite on the card here. We've got Nico Price taking on Jacoby Smith in a welterweight bout. Nico Price is a guy, he's been around quite a while. He's usually in a dogfight. The chin is pretty questionable at this point. And Jacoby Smith, another undefeated guy coming in. He's looked pretty good to start. He's got a lot of power. Massive, massive favorite here. Can't obviously bet the money line. But what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think I've seen something like this might be one of the biggest favorites of all time in the UFC, or
Yeah.
around close to it. He was like, yeah, numbers absolutely minus 2,200 right now, minus 2,500. So it's the big. I mean, I think it's probably one. I think this is probably a squash match. I think Nico Price is just absolutely washed and cooked. I mean, Robbie Lawler absolutely obliterated him with one punch. I think you said the chin is questionable. I think the chin is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Nico's probably just coming in here for a check. I mean, he's got like 7 kids, I think. So I mean, he probably needs the cash. So yeah, and I'm really high on Jacoby Smith. I mean, Oklahoma's state wrestlers, so high level grappling, big power in his hands, good boxing. I mean, this kid's got the potential. He fought Matthews in his last fight, right? So
Yeah.
and put him away. I mean, that's not a big measuring stick, but I mean, Contender Series fight, he looked good. So I mean, this is just a squash match. I think it's probably Jacoby in round 1. Probably just absolutely like destroys him. I mean, I think he probably grounds him and just gets whatever he wants and just ground and pound destroys him. So yeah.
Yeah, same here. I think he knocks him out. I think he probably knocks him out pretty quick. I just don't think there's much to this fight. Not really too much to say. So yeah, give me Jacoby Smith by knockout. I do have that in a parlay. I parlayed that with your Dodgers. I was talking to you about that earlier. And I've got Denise on the money line in that as well. So hopefully I can catch that ticket pretty early in the day. But yeah, I think Jacoby Smith by knockout is a pretty likely outcome here. All right, our next fight. This is an interesting one, as all Terrence McKinney fights are. We've got a lightweight bout. Terrence McKinney taking on Vyacheslav Borchev. Both guys, good strikers. McKinney is a much better grappler. Borchev, we know he can be grappled, but he tends to be able to get up and survive. McKinney's he's a first round cannon, and we've seen Borchev hurt in fights. We've seen him hurt recently. So McKinney could get him out of there early, but if it goes longer, we know that gas tank on McKinney is not the greatest. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this should be a fun one. My guy Slava Claus, big Slava Claus guy. He's on a bit of a rough run. It seems like the durability is waning a little bit. I mean, Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is one of these young up and coming guys. I really don't blame that one. On him. I mean, that's his deficiency is grappling, and Chase Hooper's grappling is just. I mean, we've seen the improvements he's made. He's really good. Yeah, I mean, Slava's he's a great technical kickboxer. Credentialed, he's good, what he does at the striking realm, but big concern has always been the takedown defense. But when he does get taken down, he makes it. He can survive on the ground, and he's always trying to scramble. He's always trying to get up. He'll get back up to his feet. You take him down again. He's good at getting back up to his feet. And we know what Terrence McKinney's good at. I mean, he's going to come at you. He's got about maybe 4 minutes of cardio to get you out of there. And if he doesn't get you out of there, he pretty much completely falls off a cliff. Yeah, I think McKinney's game plan is probably going to be to take Slava down early and try to submit him. We've seen Terrence McKinney. He's in the first 4 minutes, he's probably one of the best fighters for 4 minutes. So, I expect him to try to go for takedowns here, or if he strikes with Slava, I think that'll probably play into Slava's game plan, if he doesn't go for takedowns, but McKinney has good power in his hands, so he could always catch Slava. But yeah, I expect McKinney to try to wrestle here early, and if he doesn't finish him, Slava's going to make him work. He's going to get back up. He's going to, make McKinney work and grind for those takedowns, and that cardio is not good. So I think the longer this fight goes, Slava probably takes over and just pieces him up. Slava's striking is real technical. He likes to throw those head kicks. He likes to rip the body, good combos, and he's got the cardio to go 15 minutes. So that you don't have to worry about. So yeah, I think it's probably a Slava KO in 2 or 3. I got to ride with Slava here to survive the early storm from Kenny and be able to take over and put him away in like round 2 or 3. Terrence McKinney getting to round 3 sounds pretty crazy, but yeah, I think he gets probably out of there in round 2. I think the under is live, but it's 1.5 at juice. You don't really like to play those, but it's a Terrence McKinney fight, so hey, Slava could easily catch him in round 1 too, I think. So yeah, I like Slava here. I like the dog shot with Slava.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably going to bet Slava round 2, because honestly, I don't think it gets to round 3. I would be very shocked if it did. Either McKinney's going to come out here and just get him out early in the first round, which I do think is possible. If you're going to bet McKinney, I would just bet him round 1. I'm pretty 50-50 on who's actually going to win the fight, because I see a pretty clear path for both guys.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Slava round 2 or Slava live, he could get absolutely run through in the first round and survive. And honestly, I really don't care how bad the first round looks. I'll probably still bet Slava, because McKinney he falls off a cliff more than any fighter maybe ever. It's unprecedented. So yeah, I think going in, I may have a McKinney first round ticket.
I think the way to go is you bet McKinney round 1 submission. I think you bet that. That's plus 450, and then you could take the Slava KO in round 2 at 7.
Yeah.
Or you could take the 2-3 at 550, which I would rather probably take the 2-3. It's not that big of a price gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, probably McKinney round 1 sub, and then you take the Slava 2-3 KO. I think that's the way you probably attack this one.
Yep, that's exactly my thoughts. So yeah, we're on the same page. I think most people will be on the same page as us with that. So yeah, those are not bad prices for what we expect out of this fight.
Fight
all right,
not to go
on.
is minus 800. Fight not to go is minus 800. So
yeah, I'll be absolutely blown away if this fight goes 3 rounds. All right, our next fight is a little less explosive. We've got a women's flyweight bout. We got Viviane Adujo taking on Tracy Cortez. Fairly even matchup here. They both can strike. They're both usually in pretty close fights. So I would expect this one to be relatively back and forth. I think the cardio favors Cortez here. But what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is one I'm not really too excited for. I mean, this is the one of the one fights, you can't really get too excited for. But I mean, Tracy Cortez, she's a looker, so we'll
Yeah.
have that going for us. So yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be like another women's MMA fight. Probably going to be close, go back and forth. I think if Arujo can keep it on the feet, Cortez, I like Cortez boxing. It's pretty decent, even though Rose just absolutely schooled her. She has shown some decent striking in the past, but her game is pretty much the wrestling and to get takedowns. Arujo's takedown defense is pretty good. So I mean, if she could keep it on the feet, she can make it competitive. It's probably 29-28. Like either way, it might even be a split. I can see it being super close, a split. I mean, I think the split is live. So yeah, if you had to have me pick a winner, probably Cortez. I mean, Arujo is almost 40 years old. She's 38, I think. So she's getting up there in age. But yeah, I would go with the younger fighter in Cortez here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it is competitive, and Arujo does get tired. We've seen her lose third rounds a lot. She is getting older. So, yeah, give me the younger fighter with a little bit better cardio and a close fight to edge out that third round. And
the over 2.5 is minus 700.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
Cortez by decision, and her money line is pretty much the same price.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a pretty competitive fight. But yeah, I think Cortez gets it, and I think it goes long. So that's about it for that one. All right, our next fight is in the featherweight division. We got Emile taking on Jose Delgado. This should be a good one. These guys both like to push a pace, both pretty dangerous. Delgado been on a pretty nice streak of finishes. Emile, he's gone longer in fights, but again, both guys put on a big pace, and both guys so far look pretty durable. Expect this to be a fun one. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is one of the fights I'm looking forward to on the card. It should be an absolute war. I mean, it's a Emile fight. How can you not like watching this guy fight? He's like a mini Terminator. All he does is walk forward, throw volume, throw bombs. He's just an absolute savage. I mean, I love his fight style. He's going to keep walking forward. He's going to try to hit you with big bombs. He's got good takedown defense. He's decent. It's just he's 35 years old, which is he's got to go now. So this is his time. But yeah, he's good. And Delgado, I'm high on Delgado too. Delgado, great striking, good grappling. I mean, well-rounded, 27 years old, young kid. I mean, yeah, he looks good. This should be an absolute war, absolute banger, a fun fight. Yeah, but if I have to pick a side, I like Emile. I like the volume, I like the pressure, I like the pace. It's like I bet on Emile in every single one of his fights in the UFC as a dog, and he's paid me out. So I mean, I gotta go back to the well here and go right back to Emile until he proves me wrong at dog money. I mean, I like both these guys. I think it could be a close fight, it could be a war. So yeah, give me the guy who's gonna continuously walk forward.
Yep. Same boat here, man. I like the dog money, and yeah, I like the pace. He's he's pretty defensively sound. I mean, he doesn't take a lot of shots. He did get hit a decent amount in his last fight, but for the most part, he's usually tough to hit. So coming forward, putting pressure on guys, landing damage. And yeah, Delgado, I mean, he's going to bring a war. It's going to be back and forth for sure. Tough fight, but yeah, I'll take this shot on the dog here as well, just because, I mean, he's proven it a couple times here, and yeah, I mean, close fight.
I mean, that combination against Lee where he threw like 50 like strikes was fucking nuts.
Yeah, definitely. Two
And then
guys that are fun to watch.
the William Gomez fight was surprising too. He made a guy that doesn't like to fight, that likes to stay on the outside. He walked forward and made him fight. So
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to this one for sure. But yeah, officially, we're both on Emile here. All right, our next fight is in the middleweight division. We've got Jack Hermanson, who's been around forever, been towards the top of the division for a very long time, taking on Gregory Rodriguez, another guy that's been around a while. Looked like an absolute killer in his last fight for the first two, 3 rounds, and then cardio kind of bit him in that one. We know Hermanson, he's a guy that can stand in there, take some shots, and cardio is going to be there. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this should be a good one. I mean, Gregory Rodriguez, he was absolutely destroying Jared Cannonier in that first round, and then just absolutely just like his cardio just gave out after run round because that first round he had a lot of output. I mean, he had Cannonier hurt and wobbled, and he dumped the gas tank. His cardio is not great to begin with, but I mean he absolutely dumped the gas tank in round one and couldn't get him out of there. And Cannonier, good cardio, was able to just put the pace on him and put him away. RoboCop, good striking. Power in his hands. He's got that death touch if he connects. One thing about him is he has really good grappling and really good submissions and world class BJJ and all that, and just never uses it. So yeah, he likes to strike. He's a striker now. I mean, I don't even consider the grappling with this guy anymore, but it's there if he wants it.
Yeah.
And we know what we're getting from Jack Hermanson, a wily old savvy veteran. We've seen him kind of fraud check Pyfer in their fight, in the 5-round fight, where he was able to weather the early storm from Pyfer and then take over in the later rounds. But where he did to hear is that it's not a 5-round fight where he can really utilize that. So I think, Rodriguez is, I don't know. This is interesting because, also Hermanson hasn't fought in when was the last Pyfer fight? Like a year and a half?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So the layoff is concerning. Why were you off for so long? Was it injuries? Are you just letting your body heal? I would like to know what's going on there. So that's a mystery. And we know RoboCop's going to come out and just absolutely blitz this guy early, So I got to lean with RoboCop here to get the knockout. I thought about taking Hermanson, but looking at it more, it's I think RoboCop hits Hermanson with the same flurry he hit Cannonier with. I don't know if he survives that.
Right.
So I'm going to think Rodriguez probably knocks him out and finds the chin and puts the old fading fighter away. Even though not fading, but the older fighter away. Puts him down. Shows, he's like 38, 39, right, Hermanson? So.
Yeah. I kind of have the same feeling. The RoboCop, the way he came out in that fight against Cannonier, that was kind of weird because it was a 5-rounder. So it was kind of crazy to see him go that hard that early when normally he kind of, he goes after guys early, but that was an insane output. Like he must have had some crazy confidence going into that one, or I don't know what that was about. I would expect, obviously he's only got 3 rounds to worry about here. So, he can kind of get away with it a little bit more if he kind of has the same game plan. But yeah, I think he's got a pretty good edge early. He's huge. They're both actually pretty big dudes. But yeah, he's got the power. He could definitely hurt him early. Hopefully hopefully the cardio holds up a little bit better because he did kind of fall off a cliff, and he did land some decent shots in the second round, and it looked like maybe he could still find a way, but yeah, the cardio kind of just failed him pretty bad. So we could see a similar situation. I mean, I guess we'll see how the first round plays out. I could see myself betting Hermanson after the first round if it looks like we might be running into a similar situation. And we know Hermanson; he's done it before. He's taken those big shots and come on strong late in fights. So could be a good live betting opportunity. But yeah, officially, I'm going to take RoboCop here. I think he gets it done. I think he's got a pretty solid chance to finish. And like you said, he could grapple, and he's definitely got an advantage there. Hermanson is a guy that, it's not like he can't grapple, but RoboCop definitely could find something. He's got a good submission game. But I like RoboCop, possibly a live opportunity here with Hermanson, but we'll see kind of how that first round plays out. All right, our next fight, speaking of fraud checks, Peyton Talbot taking on Felipe Lima in the bantamweight division. Peyton Talbot got, I guess you could say, fraud checked in that last fight. He was a massive favorite coming in. He had all the hype. Took on a vet and Raoni Barcelos, and, he got out-grappled. And, pretty big learning lesson for him. Now he's not getting any easier of a fight. He's fighting Felipe Lima, who's very well-rounded, 14-1. He's good everywhere. Be interesting to see how Talbot bounces back here. Has he worked on that grappling? I'm sure he has, but how much better can it be with in this time? But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this should be a fun one. Two good young up and coming prospects with a lot of potential. Peyton Talbot, we've seen what we've seen out of him. Pretty much great elite striking. Got power in his hands. Throws a lot of volume. Just a great striker. Good technique. Really crisp. But his grappling did get exposed in the Barcelos fight, which is worrisome. I mean, he just. The thing was, he was just always rushing and kind of rushing himself into takedowns and just giving up the takedowns pretty easly, And Barcelos, the vet, he's going to take that all day and utilize his grappling and and kind of hold him down and really didn't do much. He defended the submissions, all the submissions well from Barcelos, which was pretty good. And he had Barcelos in that third round. I mean, Barcelos was just absolutely had nothing left in the tank, and he started to land some pretty big shots, and then just fell into another takedown.
Yeah.
And he's coming in here. That was his game plan. I mean, this whole camp, he was probably drilling that takedown defense, and becoming like a more well-rounded fighter. Like he said in his. I mean, you've seen his pre-interview. He kind of really seemed determined, like he knew what the problem was, and like they were working on it. Like just him talking about it, and he knew about this fight too. Like he knew he was going to be on International Fight Week for I think a couple of months. So in Lima, I think barely found out a few weeks ago. So he's been preparing for a fight. He's got to know that all these guys are going to come in and try to do what Barcelos did. And so. He's just got to shore up that takedown defense, and if he can kind of stay I want to see him kind of control distance and utilize his striking and his length to his advantage here, and not always run into these takedowns. Keep it at range, utilize your boxing, and let it come to you. And Lima, another good prospect that I like. He's decently well rounded. He's got good striking, good grappling. Even though in his debut he did go up a weight class against Naimov. I thought Naimov won the first 2 rounds, and I mean Lima looked kind of gassed, but I mean he was still able to get to that back and grab that neck pretty quickly, which was pretty impressive, And then watching his tape prior, I think he's legit, he's got a lot of potential, Both of these guys I like, Yeah, but I'm just going to bank that Talbot was able to make these adjustments and be ready here and utilize the striking and manage the distance and be able to just piece up Lima in I think probably a great fight. So, yeah, give me the underdog. Give me Talbot here. Everybody's sleeping on him. Everybody's gave up on him. He burnt everybody, in this last fight, minus 1,200, whatever he was against Barcelos. And, now he's a dog now. Yeah, I'm going to buy low on Talbot and hope he makes he's young enough to make these improvements and adjustments, and yeah, eventually, just piece him up and out volume Lima.
Yeah, this one was tough because I really do like Lima. I think he is really good, and I think Talbot's really good too. It's a learning experience. He's a very, very young kid, so obviously he can make improvements, leaps and bounds, fight to fight. So it could definitely be a good buy low spot on him. I don't know. I think Lima's got enough of a game to mix it up and it just be able to kind of dictate where the fight goes. So I'm leaning Lima to get the job done. But it's tough because I don't want to be one of those suckers that falls into the trap of, he got fraud checked and then comes back and looks like $1 million. So I've gone back and forth. I mean, I definitely think Talbot, he's got a good mindset. He's a smart kid and he's extremely talented. So I think Lima, I'm going to pick Lima as an official pick here, but yeah, this is a good one and not really sure.
What do you think the fight's line if this happened before the Barcelos fight? What do you think the line is?
Yeah, I mean,
Talbot minus 250 probably.
There's a good chance Talbot's the favorite in this one if that fight never happened. Yeah, I mean, probably because the kid had a lot of hype on him and he was running through people. So yeah, it's a good chance he would have been favored in this fight. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Lima is a guy, he's a proven commodity for sure. We know he's got all the tools, but yeah, Talbot, if he is able to stuff some takedowns or get back up pretty quick and use his striking, he's definitely live in this one. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad spot. If you're a Talbot backer, I definitely don't think it's too bad. But we'll move on here. Our next fight is in the lightweight division. This is a fight that was previously booked a few months back, and Serukian pulled out of the title fight, so Moicano got his shot, and he looked pretty good. He had a nice first round. He landed some good shots on Islam, but overall, Islam was just the better man that night and was able to submit him. Pretty even matchup here. Dariush, a guy who's got big power, very good grappling. We've seen him get kind of beat up a little bit here recently. We've seen him knocked out a few times. So I'd say probably durability is questionable on both guys. Moicano also can be rocked. So competitive fight here. Interesting to see where both these guys are at. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like Moicano said today at the press conference, it's the battle of the old men. So
yeah,
these guys are both pretty up there in age, getting up there. I don't know. I think the wheels are kind of falling off for Dariush. I mean, he hasn't looked great in his last couple of fights. I mean, even though the level of competition, was pretty good. I mean, Serukian, starches him, and then Charles. Yeah, but before that, I mean, he was on a good run. I mean, we know he's got really good wrestling, really good BJJ. The striking is decent. I mean, he was a good, well-rounded guy until he fought Charles, and I think Charles just absolutely just destroyed his chin. And then Serukian, I mean, so I think Dariush's chin is probably gone. But yeah, I mean, he's got all the skills. He's a pretty good fighter. He's just up there in age and with no chin. So yeah, and then Moicano, these guys are kind of similar, the same. Yeah. I mean, both good grapplers and decent kickboxers. So I mean, what happens? The grappling probably, I mean, cancels each other out. I mean, even Moicano said he had an interview I'd seen, and he pretty much said, yeah, this is probably going to be a kickboxing match where the grappling just cancels each other out. I think it's going to take something pretty crazy for somebody to get on top. So I think it's it's probably gonna be interesting. You know, it's one more. I just think Dariush is just washed, man. But Dariush could always just like pull out a Gamrot performance where it was just a great performance and look like $1 million. But can he turn back the clock? I don't know if he's. I don't know. Moicano, you know, he's got the good striking. Could he catch him on the chin? Maybe that chin is just completely gone, and all it takes is for Moicano to hit him one good time. I do worry about Moicano's cardio a little bit. I mean, we've seen him kind of slow in that St. Denise fight, but that was a lot of output he put in there. A lot of grappling exchanges, so he used a lot of energy in that fight before it was stopped. So he did look tired in that fight. So cardio could be a
injury too. In that fight.
So. Yeah, and like a lot of money, public dog, I think, was Dariush all week. I mean, he was like, I talked about it like the last week. I think he was like plus 135. That was an interesting plus money spot, but all the plus money's gone, and this fight's pretty much a pick 'em. So this fight, before the Makhachev fight with Moicano, Moicano was like minus 180, minus 200, I think, minus 170-ish.
Yeah.
So now we're getting a discount in the rebooking. So I think I got to roll with Moicano here just to have a little bit more, left in the tank, you know, because he was on a decent run before the Islam fight. So I think Moicano pulls it out here.
Yeah, I was on Moicano the first time this fight was booked. For the reasons that you stated, I mean, I do think Dariush is extremely dangerous, and you know, he has fought some really, really tough guys, so you can't really knock him for those finishes. But at the same time, you know, Charles put it on him pretty bad, and then you know, it looked like he couldn't take a punch. I mean, Serukian, big strong guy, but not really the biggest power puncher. I mean, generally speaking, he's taking guys down and beating them up, but yeah, I mean, Dariush. Just I don't know. Maybe it was too quick of a turnaround for him, but he's had some time now to kind of recover. So maybe the chin holds up a little bit better. But yeah, I just don't trust it. I mean, we've seen him get rocked in the past as well in fights that he won. You know, he had that crazy comeback, like I don't know, 2020, where he was dead on the ropes, just about ready to go. And then he comes back, lands that big shot. And then just completely turns the tide. So, you know, the chin's always been kind of questionable. He got knocked out by Hernandez back in the day. So yeah, I just think Moicano could come out, could be explosive, and
crack him, and then if he could crack him and then get on top and utilize the ground and pound, because Moicano's ground and pound is pretty good. So if he can crack him, get on top, and land some big shots, I think,
Yep. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. And you know, I do worry a little bit, you know, Moicano slowing down, but in that Saint Denis fight, he did have that shoulder injury. I mean, his shoulder, whatever, was sticking out freaking 2 inches out of his shoulder. So, you know, obviously wasn't fully healthy for that one. So and again, it was a lot of output. I mean, he put a crazy pace on in that first round, and you know, could have got him out in the first round. It was pretty close, but so yeah, I mean, overall, I think, you know, cardio wise, I think Moicano will be fine. And I just think if he gets that early onslaught going, it's probably going to be night. So yeah, I like Moicano here. I am usually a Moicano backer, and I was picking him the first time. Nothing's changed for me. I will take him here in this spot at actually a better price, so can't argue with that. All right, our next fight is, I mean, now we're just getting into, as Sheamus would say, banger after banger. Got a flyweight bout between two guys who love to push a pace. Brandon Royval taking on Joshua Van. Royval has been close to the top here. I mean, he's fought for the belt. The guy has all the tools, and you know, he's competitive with anybody you put him in there with. And Josh Van's just a kid. You know, I called him a prodigy in the past, and I stick to it. The kid, he's been training for about 5 years, and he puts a hell of a pace on guys. We saw him fight was it like 3 weeks ago on the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Put a hell of a pace on Bruno Silva, had chances to finish that fight in multiple rounds and got the late finish, which I bet that finish. So I was getting a little nervous there. But that came through, and the kid's he's a high pace guy, great boxing, takedown defense, actually pretty decent for a guy who, early on in his career, which was not that long ago, we worried about his takedown defense, but he's he's shored up the game pretty well here. This obviously is his biggest test to date. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is a really fun fight. Really looking forward to this one. Josh Van, another one of my guys. Great boxing, pressure fighter. He's going to walk forward. He's going to put up numbers. Volume. He's going to work the body. He's going to work the head. Up and down, change levels. Really good striking, elite striking. 23 years old. A lot of potential in this kid. He's looked really good, except besides the Charles Johnson fight, which I thought he was probably win. He probably won round 1 and round 2, and then got caught in that 3rd round. But he bounced back from that and just ripped off a bunch of wins. The Serukian fight impressed me. He was able to stuff takedowns there. And, we had always had questions how his takedown defense would be, but he was able to stuff the takedowns there. And then if he did get taken down, he's immediately right back up to his feet. He's not going to settle on bottom. Just elite cardio, elite pressure. Coming off that big Bruno Silva win where he just beat him down pillar to post every single round. And that was one of the things early. We would say take Josh Van 2-3, Josh Van 2-3 KO, because it's going to come one day. And he, that's what he does. He usually, he gives away that first round and then just absolutely is able to take over in rounds 2 or 3. But in his last couple of fights, he's been starting fast. The Bruno Silva fight, yeah. He started fast. The fight before that, he started fast. The kid's making improvements fight to fight. I don't hold the Charles Johnson knockout against him. It happens. You know what I mean? He's young enough to learn from that. So yeah, I really like the potential of this kid, and he's got a lot of potential. I think this kid can be a champion, man. Like you said, the prodigy. And Brandon Royval, one of these savvy vets who he's a pressure fighter. He's both of these guys are pressure fighters, volume fighter. He's gonna walk forward. I think Royval probably has the grappling advantage, but Royval really doesn't use his grappling. He more locks up his subs by defensive grappling. When people are trying to grapple him, he usually locks something up there. He pulls the ghillie or the darts, and that's how he uses his grappling. But he's gonna want to stand on the feet, and these guys are probably gonna stand in there and bang for 3 rounds. This is a really, really fun fight. I got to roll with my guy Josh Van here to get the job done, for it to be a great, entertaining fight. He gets the win here. He probably fights Pantoja next for the championship. So, yeah, big performance here from Van. Like Van.
Yeah, I like both guys. I'm gonna roll with Royval here, just for the simple fact that there's some value here. He's been in the big fights. He's gone toe to toe with the best of the best. He's got wins over Kai Kara France, which was another great fight back in the day when he was making his early run in the UFC. I think it's going to be an extremely close fight. I think Josh Van definitely has the ability to catch Royval. We've seen Royval rocked in a couple fights. So Van definitely has that potential. And I think I really do just think it's going to come down to the volume. Whoever puts on a better pace is going to get their hand raised. I think it's really close, competitive. So I'm going to roll with the dog in this spot. Both guys are guys that I've bet many, many times, and I hate betting against either one of them, but I have to roll with Royval here, as tough as that is, but I got to do it. All right, we move on to the next fight, which is in the same division. We got the flyweight title. We got Alexandre Pantoja taking on Kai Kara-France. Kara-France is a guy that's been very, very close to the title for the past few years. He had that great fight with Moreno. He looked like he was winning that fight, starting to take over, and then Moreno hit him with a nasty kick to the face. Kind of changed the whole fight dynamic there. And Pantoja
body, right?
is.
It was a kick to the body, right?
Well, I think he put him out with the body shot, but did he kick Moreno in the face and cut Moreno early? Yeah, the body kick was what put Kara-France out. But for some reason I was thinking, I think I had that backwards. But yeah, I mean, he looked good in that fight. He was, I was on Moreno, and I was getting a little nervous. It looked like Kara-France was kind of on his way to getting that one, but Brandon Moreno does what he does and was able to get him out of there. And here we got Pantoja, man. He's a great champion. He's a guy that he's got a long way to go to get to that Mighty Mouse status, but he's making a pretty good claim as one of the best champions that we've seen. And he's taken on all comers. He's taken on all styles, and by hook or by crook, well, I shouldn't say by hook or by crook, but one way or another, he seems to find a way. I mean, there's been many times where I thought, okay, he's tired now. This is where Moreno takes over. This is where whoever he's fighting takes over, but he finds a way to just push through and get takedowns and control fights. And he's been in some close ones, but he always finds a way. And I'm expecting kind of similar situation here. Kara-France, he's got the power. He's got pretty good takedown defense. And, he's going to bring it. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this should be a really good one. I mean, Pantoja, just a junkyard dog, just a warrior. He's going to go out there and bang. He's on a great run here, good streak. I mean, he's looked really good in his last couple of fights. I mean, the guy, what can you really say bad about him? I mean, the guy looks great. I mean, he looks almost unbeatable. The volume's there. The striking is decent. It's not his best asset, but where he wants to get this go is his back takes are pretty elite. I mean, he's pretty quick to jump on the back and utilize that grappling. I mean, he'll backpack you and just get on your back, and he's got really deadly submissions. Just a good, well-rounded, champion fighter. I'm really I like Pantoja a lot, and then Kai Kara, he's a good fighter too. He's got big power in his hands. Like if it's this guy, you bet against this guy, and it's like, man, this guy will creep up and make your night pretty shitty. Like I was pretty big on Urseg on that fight, and then I thought Urseg was doing well, and then out of nowhere, here comes Kai Kara, boom, catches him and totally changes the fight and is able to put Urseg away. We've seen Kai Kara do that many times. That power is pretty big. So Pantoja's going to have to mind his P's and Q's here and not stand so reckless in the pocket and trade with this guy. Get in close, get that body lock, try to get him down. Even though Kai Kara's takedown defense is pretty decent, test him, get on his back, wear on him, make him work. You take him down even if he gets back up. Take him down again, wash, rinse, and repeat. Just don't be at distance too long with this guy. Make it your fight, make it grimy, make it put it in your world. You know what I mean? Don't stand and trade with them. But I think Pantoja's smart enough. He knows he needs to do that. I mean, everybody knows Kai Kara's got that death touch in his hands. So, yeah, I mean, Pantoja's just got to be safe here. I think ultimately, he gets the job done and the show continues. But, yeah, this is a test. I'm on Pantoja already in a parlay. So, yeah, I think he gets the job done. Even though I am worried about that rat Kaikara just landing something big. You know, he's always live to do something like that. You know, just make end your night, make your night terrible. You know, I like both these guys, but yeah, give me Pantoja to retain.
Yeah, again, I think it's going to be a close, competitive one. But man, it's just tough to pick against Pantoja. He's got that will to win, and it shows up. It shows up late in fights. And the one thing about his grappling, like you said, is his back takes are so good. So, we've seen Kaikara defend takedowns against strong wrestlers, and he's done a great job. I mean, most guys, if they do get him down, they really struggle. But Pantoja doesn't necessarily have to take you down in a traditional fashion. I mean, he can grab a hold and just sneak around to the back, drag you to the ground.
Yep.
He just drags guys down. Like, that's just what he does. He gets guys in deep water, and it's really tough to beat that style. And he's been on a hell of a run. Like I said, I mean, he's working his way towards that, the top of the flyweight division. Like I said, he's got a long way to go to get to Demetrius, but I mean, he's going one after the next. I mean, he's fighting. He's pretty active. He's beating all the top guys. And while I'm a big Kaikara fan, I would love to see the kid win the belt. And I definitely think he's live. He definitely could win it. I just can't pick against Pantoja. I don't know what it's going to take.
Pantoja always looks tired, but he always seems to just fight through it. You think he's cooked, he's done, and he hits that extra gear in the championship rounds. And he's got that it factor, man.
And he's been there so many times too. It's not like this is his first title defense or second.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Kaikara was able to catch him. So.
No, I absolutely. I mean, can see it, and that's one thing about being a champion is like you can look great, but you're always fighting the most dangerous guys. So at any point, they could be the night. And I'd like to take the shot here, but I mean it's just so tough. Pantoja doesn't really give you a good enough reason to pick against him, and they were talking about the last fight. He was asking his family how I should sub him. What should I do to sub him? And he ends up getting the rear naked, and with relative ease. It was one of his easier title defenses.
Yeah, Asakura, I don't think really deserved to be in there though.
No, I mean it was kind of a big name coming in type spot, but I mean Pantoja just got that confidence, man. He's got that swagger about him, and it's not like a cocky swagger. It's just a confident. I mean, he's one of the nicest guys. You listen to him talk. He respects all his opponents. He's
a humble guy. Humble guy.
Yeah, he's just a humble guy. He's a fight fan. He just respects the craft, and that shows up on fight night. So yeah, I mean, I do think there's a very good chance here that Kai can pull it off, but. Yeah, I kind of just have to see it to believe it. So I'll roll with Pantoja here. But again, great fight. I mean, I could see. I didn't look. I don't know what the plus 5.5 is. Minus
125.
Yeah, minus 125. It's not great, but I could see Kaikara coming in, winning a round or two, and making it a good competitive fight. But ultimately, I do think Pantoja is the side. Got to roll with him. All right, that brings us to our main event of the evening. We've got the vacant lightweight belt. Ilia Topuria taking on Charles Oliveira. And, I mean, you want to talk about a banger. Both these guys come forward and push pace and are good everywhere. Topuria moving up from 145. Vacated that title, and Charles, obviously we've seen him. He was the champ. He's been in championship fights. He's one of the most exciting finishers in UFC history. This is a fun one. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, this fight is. I'm really excited for this one. I mean, this is an absolute banger. Big Charles Oliveira fan. You know, we know what he's going to bring to the table. He's going to walk forward. He's gonna eat some shots. He's probably going to get hurt. He's probably going to get dropped. But it's like the guy's so resilient. He always seems to find a way. He'll get back up. He has big power in his hands. Good striking. The most submissions in UFC history, I think, is what they said. So yeah, you know the guy's dangerous everywhere. He's got good grappling. I mean, the submission game is pretty decent. He's pretty decent. It's pretty good. I mean, he's well rounded. He's good everywhere. You know, he's just everybody always had that. You know, he's a quitter. He's a quitter. I think you could probably throw that out the books. You know, throw that out. The guy's gonna come in and go to war. He's gonna walk forward. You know, and he's gonna try to win the fight, and he's gonna try to finish you. You know, his last fight, the Chandler fight, was kind of weird that he didn't get Chandler out of there. I don't know what that was about. How that went 5 rounds was kind of mind blowing that he wasn't able to get him out. But you know, other than that, you know, the Serukian fight, he kind of got out wrestled in a couple of rounds, even though he did have some deep submissions. He did have that Darce in round 3, but Serukian mostly controlled that round, and then you know he won round 1 and round 2 he was controlled. So yeah, he can be wrestled, you know. Yeah, but I mean, we know what we're getting. This guy is just an absolute warrior, you know.
Yeah.
And Topuria, I mean, what can you say? Just absolute stud. I think I faded him in the Volk fight. I faded him in the Max fight. So yeah, I haven't really been on the Topuria train, but I mean, I'm a fan of the guy. The guy is, I mean, elite striking. I mean, good boxing. I mean, he's got the grappling. I mean, he's got the submission game too. He's well rounded. You know, I mean that the counter shots, the striking. I mean, it's just absolutely it's elite. You know, the counter punching. I mean, if he gets in range and he unleashes combos, another guy that likes to go to the head and the body. Yeah, really good. You know, moving up here in weight. You know, you see. I mean, Charles is going to have the size advantage here. You know, we've seen him fight Jai Harbor at 155. He faced some adversity in that fight with the head kick, but then came back to absolutely destroy Jai Herbert and starch him, mean KO him. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think size is going to be a factor, but maybe Charles is that big. He's going to be able to get Topuria down and maybe get in some dangerous positions, you know. I don't see this fight going long. I think whoever finishes it, it's going to – I like Topuria to win. I'm going to say it now. I like Topuria probably finds the button and puts Charles away, but I mean, Charles Oliveira is dangerous, and he's always going to be live, you know, and it's if the size is going to be too much for Topuria, you know, is it going to be too much? I don't think so, you know, but I think eventually, you know, Charles is there to be hit. He's going to walk forward, and, you know, he's going to walk right into Topuria's range, and I think Topuria catches him with a big shot. I don't mind the KO 1-2-3. It's -110. I don't mind that at all. It's no plus money, but I mean, I think the KO is like -190, so you can't really. I mean, what can you do with that? So I think the fight probably goes under 2.5. I think it probably ends in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, I see violence here. I think these guys, they're not looking to be here a long time. They're looking in for a good time, or whatever the fuck that saying is. But yeah, I think Topuria eventually finds the button and unfortunately puts one of my favorite fighters to sleep.
Yeah. I kind of feel, unfortunately, that's kind of where I'm leaning to. And I hate it, man, because I never, ever pick against Charles.
Nope.
I backed this dude, God, for forever.
One of my favorite fighters. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's been fights where the Gaethje fight, I was like, I don't think he can hold up to the power, blah blah, and then he does what he does. But man, Topuria just seems like he's a very smart fighter. Number one, yeah. He's so good precision. He's got very good reads, and that's really what leads to, like, he talked about it with the Max fight. They were setting up. They knew they were waiting for Max to, I think, like, I forget what he even said he was doing, but Max kept doing the same thing over and over, and then he just found that opening and landed that big shot. And man, he's got some pretty big power. So yeah, he's just a very, very good fighter. I mean, he's well rounded. The grappling skills are there.
Yep.
You know, this is. I mean, Charles is as good as it gets. I mean, he's dangerous everywhere, and if he snatches something up,
yeah.
Go ahead.
The thing that I don't like to see is, why is he already cutting weight? He's already cutting weight like 2 days out. Like, no,
yeah.
You haven't seen the pictures on X or whatever, Twitter, whatever. Yeah, he's already like in the sauna in a prayer circle with towels all over him. Like, like, what? Like, why are we cutting weight like 2 days out? Like,
that is interesting. That is interesting for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he's trying to bulk up, and who knows? He might have put on a little bit more weight than expected, but yeah,
Charles Oliveira's weight cuts have always kind of weared on him. He got stripped of the title because he missed weight by half pound or whatever it was.
Right.
So I mean, he usually always has tough weight cuts. And Topuria said he feels the best he's ever felt. He doesn't have to cut as much weight. I mean, he looks pretty healthy, man. He looks, so it's Topuria, probably knockout, probably means Charles, and takes another legend out.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't see this fight going too long. Either Topuria catches him with something big, or Charles. Charles maybe could if Charles rocks him and can grab up a sub or something. I mean, it's not easy to escape his submissions. I mean, we saw Serukian do it, but he came out of his shorts in the first round. Honestly, I think if Serukian shorts don't slide off, it's probably over. Like that's such a huge factor. But yeah, and then of course he had that Darce in the third, and that wasn't going anywhere. He was going to hold that as long as he wanted. So yeah, I mean, Charles is extremely dangerous, and I hate to pick against the guy, but man, the precision of Topuria, it's tough to argue against. And for the most part, he's shown, like, even in the Volk fight, Volk looked like he was landing a few combinations and looked like Volk was starting to kind of get going.
And then all of a sudden,
boom,
good night.
Out of nowhere. So
Max too. Max was kind of starting to get a rhythm going and putting some volume on him, and then all of a sudden, boom, big shot. Max is hurt and he's done. This guy's power is just crazy, man. His precision, like you said, is crazy. And I like the body work too, the way he rips the body hard, and then And Charles is not going to be hard to find. He's going to be right there in front of him, willing to exchange, willing to throw down. So he's not going to have to close the distance much in this one. So
no, I mean, Charles is always. I mean, in all of his title fights, he got dropped and just came back and put a pace on. So, if he can hold up to it, if he can take that big shot and go down and get back up, maybe we see vintage Charles, and he just does it again. But yeah, I have to go.
He's going to be live too early. He's going to be live.
Yeah,
he's going to be live early, but I just don't see him. I don't know. I just think Topuria is that guy.
Yeah, I am interested to see what they look like when they face off at the weigh-ins. Like, just
they faced off at the press conference, and I mean, Charles was a little bit bigger, but it wasn't by a lot. I thought it was going to be more, but it wasn't. Yeah,
and they're wearing shoes, so it's like
it's
really tough to gauge when they face off at the ceremonials, and more than likely they're either in sandals or barefoot. That'll be a good gauge to kind of see what the size really does look like. But again, I mean, I don't think the size is really going to play that big of a factor. Topuria is strong. He's so accurate and technical. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, we've been going on about this fight for a while. Obviously, it's a great main event. It's a great card. I love the main card. Every fight on the main card is going to be exciting. So it's going to be an awesome night. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's it. So I guess, we'll be live Saturday night. We'll be live for the races. We had a hell of a NASCAR week last week. We should have got that Denny Hamlin ticket home. That would have been an amazing weekend. We cashed basically every prop that Keg put out, which was beautiful. Atlanta's a little bit tougher to hit those props because it is a drafting track. So, but we'll be live for all the races. We'll be live for the fights. We got PFL tomorrow night. Yeah. So I'll probably throw some bets down for that, even though looking at the card, I don't think it's a great one. But yeah. So
some spots.
Yeah. Do you have anything? Do you have any bets out there yet? Anything that worth mentioning?
I like Jeffrey.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be diving into that card a little bit tonight before I go to bed. See if there's anything I like, maybe tie to some UFC stuff. So, but yeah, nukethehouse.com, sign up. We've always got action. It's always fun. Live shows are always fun. So tune into those. And yeah, that's it. Johnny, if you got anything else, let us know.
That's it.
Otherwise, we'll get out of here. All right.
See it.
We will get out of here. Good luck this weekend, everyone.
Laters.